Hey everyone, it's Frank with the semifinals of the Oriole Stormgate Tournament Invitational number 3 quarterfinals. Number 1 between Albino and Wriggle. It's going to be a best of 5, and we're going to see a barracks first coming out of Albino. Yeah, and I like this. I like this positioning here of the production structures of Wriggle. He's kind of not exactly going for a wall off, but he still wants it to be quite difficult. Now, I have seen on, I want to say it's on Lost Hope, that the dog is able to squeeze through some pretty narrow areas here. I don't know if he'd be able to squeeze through there, but the dog also wins a straight up fight against a Hexen, so I think a little bit more aggression might have been better from that dog. But he might also just be trying to be really annoying, and keeping an eye on where the Infernal player is creeping. Just gonna try and I mean, just the threat of getting a stealing a camp means that he's gonna be able to oh, doesn't get it, doesn't steal it, but he does take a radioactive blood debuff here, which reduces the armor by 25 per stack, and it does stack. Which is pretty brutal when you think about it. But let's see. Okay, so walks away with only 2 fiends, which is okay. Yeah, that brute's got to go heal for a little bit. A shiny, brand new brute pops out of the Iron Vault, though, and they are going to continue creeping on. We do see a single Lancer over here with only 2 stacks of radioactive blood. Walking on by, but it looks like the Vanguard did get that health camp. Meanwhile, this fiend, no, I would say that the fiend like standing right there and body blocking the command post going up would have been nice. Just nice and annoying. Alright, so the Infernal Force here is now 2 Gaunts, a Brute. Oh no, where'd that other Brute go? Yeah, that dog's going to take that health camp. And the Infernal Army is just too slow to catch up to it. Okay, I do like that. The Lancers kind of lining up the Shadow Mastiff so that they're getting hit by the Lancer AoE. It's pretty nice. A lot of fiends going after that dog. They do get it. And the Shadow Demons here are going to get taken down by the Infernal player. Wriggle. I don't see too many games from Wriggle. Albino's all over the place. He's always dropping replays and pretty active in the Discord. He's Mr. Vanguard, I believe. Well, he's one of the Mr. Vanguards. But he's a very skilled player playing for Team Aftermath. And some say he needs SPF 95 to step out on an overcast day. 4 Lancers going up against 4 Brutes. And the Brutes aren't quite sitting on top of Shroud, and they should be, to be maximizing that white health. I think Gerald, we were talking to Gerald in one of the group chats. He just popped in one day and people were asking him questions. And one of the questions was, hey, what's the actual name for white health that's going to be going into the game? He was like, oh yeah, we just forgot to do it. Apparently, like, the name has already been decided on. They just haven't implemented it yet. And it's supposed to be called Shroud Skin, I believe. Which is nice that it finally has a name. White Health seems very, like... I get that this game is still in early access and everything is still... Oh, 2 Twilight Spires before a Ritual Chamber. Interesting. Oh, but we already see we see an evac coming out. Is this going to be... No, this isn't Atlas drops. Man, those fiends get sight of absolutely everything. You know what? I'll bet you it's going to be Shadow Flyers coming out of these Twilight Spires to just nuke whatever comes out of the hangar bay. Alright, so we see promotes going down on these 4 Lancers, and just 5 minutes in, seeing Veterancy Tier 2 Lancers coming in to make trouble in the Infernal Natural is pretty good. Oh, that one Lancer could use the cabbage. Nice control. Whoa, and there's the evac. It's flying right over the natural, not caring that it's going to get seen by absolutely everything. Oh, the 2 Shadow Flyers do connect, but it doesn't completely kill it off. No. No, is it going to survive? No way. I think the Shadow Flyers are still mid-dive as they chase this thing back. And, oh my god. Okay, so they did get it. Was it empty, though? I think it was still empty. Alright, and that Shadow Flyer lands pretty squarely on the Hornet. Did everything unload, though? Yeah, it must have been all those Lancers that unloaded. Either that or, no, they walked in through the front door because we were watching the Lancers when the evac overflew it. What? What was in there? What was inside of that evac? Alright, the first Spriggan's out now. And Spriggans are Lancer's worst nightmare. They have the Binding Saliva is pretty deadly, but just one Spriggan isn't going to turn any tides here. Is the Hornet going to show up? Not before taking a volley from the Gaunts as it overflies them. But this Hornet handily takes care of the Spriggan right there. That flew a little too close to the sun. Now it's all these Gaunts, and the Spriggan goes down. Another Spriggan goes down. That's rough. But the Magmadon and the Brutes are going to chase down these Lancers. They were going to try to anyway. And that Lancer was down to 1-digit health. Yeah, the Hornet doing anti-light damage. Oh! Oh, man. Okay, so everything... Yeah. Wriggle's going to take back his speed camp. And I think we're kind of back to that situation that Artosis was telling us about when he showcased the maps that he wanted seen in the map pool, the much smaller ones, is that we're kind of in the situation now where, well, I guess not. They are fighting over camps, or at least Albino's a lot better about fighting over camps and being like, oh, that's your speed camp? No, this is my speed camp. Instead of going after his own vision camp, or camps that are on his side of the map, he's been a lot better about taking camps on Wriggle's side of the map, which I like a lot more than dividing the map in half, because I agree, it is way boring if either player just sits on their own half of the map and just like makes the rounds taking their own camps. It's a lot more interesting when a player gets in his opponent's face and takes away that resourcing that the camps provide, like Albino just did with the speed camp on Wriggle's side of the map. So he did see that Wriggle was going up to the vision camp and sees that it reset, and now Wriggles is taking it back. Wriggle, excuse me, not Wriggles. All right, all the telegraphed attacks are dodged. Quick Draw's researched. Kinetic is researched. All right, looks like we're gonna happily dive right into bioplay here. That being said, okay, so there are 4 Spriggans on the map, and let's see, are there charges left? No charges left on the Twilights. And I think the Shadow Cleft was just built to unlock Spriggans. I don't think we see any upgrades on them yet. Yeah, there's no salivary overflow on them. Oh, and these Hornets are going to get caught. No, you don't want your Spriggans going towards those Hornets. Okay, but this is enough Spriggans to be scary to the oh, nice dodge there on the on not getting hit by the Nightfall Infestation. But these Gaunts, I think these Gaunts still don't have Plague Axes. Yeah, we still haven't seen a Ritual Chamber go down here from Wriggle. And I think that'll be a bit of a detriment. Like we see enough Exos here that the Gaunts can make quick work of them, and every moment that a unit spends attacking a Fiend is a moment it spends not attacking the rest of the army. And Fiends are kind of meant to be that bullet sponge, that frontline meat shield that really is supposed to go down first. Now they do have pretty good DPS bottoms. Oh no, we see a stasis drone go down on the Magmadon, and these Spriggans coming on forward, not taking that much damage from the Exos, but dishing it out some spades to these Lancers. Yeah, he's just saying, all right, if you want Lancers, if you want to keep on coming forward and taking this free damage, that's your prerogative. All right, one of these Sentinels getting pretty low on health. Does return to base. Another Brute goes down. I wonder if we're going to see some Elder Shrine upgrades here. Some, do we see any other upgrades coming out of the Shadow Cleft? Not yet. Where's the Hellforge? Oh, double stomp coming out of the Magmadons here. They really want to like create that distance. Oh, and the Hellborn just lobbing shots. And no, you gotta keep it safe though. Keep it secret, keep it safe, keep it out of the hands of this Vanguard player that's encroaching on your front door. Magmadon tries to come forward and stomp in, but Albino's too solidly wedged in. GG, says Wriggle, and we're on to game number 2. Alright guys, here we are, game 2 between Wriggle and Albino. Albino is up by 1 in this best of 5. This is the semifinals, I believe, of the Oriole Stormgate Invitational, number 3 qualifiers, number 1. I will now be saying the ASTI3Q1 because that is a lot of words. But here on Boneyard, dog's taking quite a bit of damage. I don't know that it wants to stick around too much. I do like when Vanguard players get the absolute maximum amount of annoying out of their scouts, whether that's to threaten stealing a camp or, yeah, here we go. Like, this dog has to get dealt with. I really appreciate putting the meat farm down, though, right there. That's a nice way of, like, preventing minor harass, like a single scout. It's super nice. And okay, I guess he just wants his brute tanking absolutely everything. The first fiend is out. The second fiend is out. He has enough energy for another skull. Doesn't use it, though. Alright. Scout is continuing to be really annoying. Gets a good howl off, though. Is able to see the composition here from Wriggle. Sees a couple of brutes, a couple of fiends, a couple of gaunts. Kind of a two of everything situation going on here. And yeah, I don't think there's much that can be done to contest those oozes. Although, actually, come to think of it, if he'd have gone and got the health cabbage a lot earlier, it would have been a lot more interesting to see just how annoying he could be with the like just threatening to take the that skull's never gonna catch that dog. Just threatening to take the ooze, because the infernal player really relies on that ooze to get an early to get some early therium. Oh man, this fiend, these two fiends are just like, no, and the dog gets away. The Lancers get away too, but that's kind of expected, and they're so tanky. It's just not. It's a foregone conclusion that they're going to leave, and they're going to be just fine. These brutes, though, are a little low on health to be getting that froggy. And we do see the natural of Albino already up and mining. Looks like he's got 4 bobs completed, and I'm genuinely surprised at the amount of tech that there isn't on Albino's side of the map. Maybe it just felt like there's more game that's actually passed than there actually has, because of that dog and the amount of work that it was getting done. But yeah, where the shrine's about 2/3 done here, and the fiend and the dog are just both gonna sit on the energy regen camp. Fiend scares off the dog. Oh, get triple promoted. There's no Beryllium Claws on it though, right? No, but I still think it's no, it's the healing that'll make it more dangerous to the fiend than it'll make it more dangerous to the fiend, and the fiend won't be able to win that fight anymore. Alright, so the 5 Lancers, 4 of which have chevrons on them, are going to rotate around to the bottom of the natural, but they're going to get chased back by all these brutes, all these gaunts. They're going to get joined up by another lancer. Still doesn't feel confident about taking this. Actually, I wouldn't either. I thought it was just going to be brutes and gaunts, but there is that Magmadon there doing all kinds of damage to these to those shadow demons. Oh no, but he left his natural unguarded, which means that Albino's going to have a prime opportunity to come in and start doing damage. He's got to rush home, but he's on the wrong side of this natural. He's at the bottom part of the cliff, and he's going to have to find out where he wants to go. A couple of imps already going down, one fiend going down. The gaunt's going to try to get some damage done, but the oh no, and there's a hornet here as well. The brutes and the Magmadon are just so slow, so now we're stuck playing this weird game of Ring Around the Rosie, where the gaunts and the hexen are all trying to dodge the lancers and eventually the hornet, but there's really not much that can shoot up here for our infernal player Wriggle. So back home, Albino's army goes, and he's going to build a barracks. Oh, what's he got coming out of the Biokinetic slab? Kinetic redirection. Nothing too surprising there. Yeah, that hornet's taking quite a bit of damage. I think he wants to, he's not telling it to return home, but he is kind of withdrawing it a little bit. And these lancers still have so much health. More hornets showing up. And the gaunt goes down. That's unfortunate. Yeah, now Wriggle just has to like deal with this. Like there's nothing he can really do to stop those hornets. He just doesn't have any anti-air. There's not even a shroud stone over here that could help. It's 2 gaunts against 2 hornets, and I won't spoil and tell you who wins that fight, but it's not the 2 gaunts. Hornets into the worker line is actually really good. Just because they have an easy way to retreat, and that's a lot of wasted stomp here on the slimes. Albino taking advantage of the fact that he saw Wriggle taking his own speed camp, or his own health camp rather, to go harass the Therium line, but a Superstone goes down. It's going to prevent them from sticking around for much longer. Yeah, and Wriggle's almost, I don't want to say he's contained, but he's certainly being kept at home by the threat of having another backdoor come by and do damage to him. Do we see... No, still no Plague Axes yet out of Wriggle. Which is strange, because he doesn't... Okay, it's on the way. I was going to say, I remember it wasn't researched last game at all, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it was, and it just took a long time. But, yeah, losing the ability to generate more fiends is kind of feels bad. There we go. Is this going to be a farm? No, Shroud Stone. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Another shrine goes down over here right next to all this Therium. You'll love to see it. And it's very enriched too, so this so Wriggle's going to be drowning in Therium here pretty soon. No, he's got to do something. You have to engage. Yeah, the threat's there. If you leave, that's a lot of Therium being put at risk. Oh, these 3 hornets coming back into the main to be really annoying. Trying to pull Wriggle's army. No. Oh, did he see the gaunts there? He might have. Yeah, that Hellborn needs to turn and fight. It's not gonna get any AoE damage done though. There we go. There's a nice shot. Couple of nice clean hits there from the Hellborn. And like we saw in the filibuster game here, I think once you start lining up really nice shots, and once you have once your Hellborns start to get high enough in number, if you kind of spread them out a little bit and let the shots come in at different angles, the dot, researching the dot gets really, I mean, you get so much more value out of it once you have that researched. All right, and there's the third Hellborn out, a Magmadon. This is starting to look like a pretty scary army, especially considering the fact that Hellborns can shoot up now. So being able to shoot up against Hornets, doing all kinds of damage, and then doing AoE damage on top of that, I think is going to prevent a whole lot of Hornet Swarm, like what you might see. Wait, is this? I guess that was a permanent one. Like what you might see if there is just nothing that was going to be threatening air. But there is. Wow, fantastic shots on top of those, on top of the Exos there. And now these medtechs are going to have to burn a lot of energy healing up Exos, and themselves for that matter. But yeah, that's another thing that I am just considering now, is the fact that the amount of energy that a medtech is going to have to use to Nightfall Infestation gets 2 medtechs and an Exo. It's fine. Nothing I would you know, nothing I would put on my resume, but still nice. The Gaunt numbers are good. We just don't see any kind of we don't see any brutes, and I think brutes are a good halfway point between being so numerous that it would be hard to focus them down, but they're still heavy armor tagged, so that Lancers won't be able to just knife right through them. Granted, all that is still a huge problem, because the infernal anti-light tool at the moment anyway is Gaunts. Like, 4 Hellborn is super nice. 5 Hellborn is even better. But I think adding some brutes into this would add a nice I don't want to say like an ablative shield, but really the Magmadon, like, you don't want the Exos focusing down the Magmadons. So if they're focusing down the brutes while the Magmadons are getting great stomps off, that's even better. Even though, like, a good Vanguard player, and Albino is a good Vanguard player, will focus down the Magmadons first, it's still nice generating some threat from brutes while the Magmadons try to reposition to get good stomps. So let's take a look at what's going on over here with Albino. Albino, of course, he's on his 4.5 base. Whoa, okay, we're going to see the tier 3 upgrades coming out for the infantry now. Survival protocol is coming online. We just saw, what is this? Mitigative guard. Oh, and the big blue bubble drops. So yeah, now Wriggle is forced off of his own shroud here. Yeah, and 3 Sentinels will be able to drop a lot of big blue domes. Oh no, the shrine is just done for. Again, the Hellborn are getting great shots. The Molten Touch is not researched yet, though. And I think there's a lot of damage that could be done. Oh, I'm loving these stomps by the Magmadons, though, coming forward. The Albino is being chased off of his own big blue bubbles. And the Magmadons are doing fantastic work here. Oh, no. No, don't let your Magmadon get surrounded by the Gaunts. They all take so much damage. Oofta. Actually, I would say the Hellborn should be targeting down the Sentinels. There we go. Okay, so the Sentinels are all gone. That means no more blue domes until the next Sentinel's out on the map and joining up with the army. But we do see the Gravens out, and the Gravens being able to every little bomb, every goo bomb that gets a good connection with Gaunts is going to be pretty devastating. Here, we'll follow both armies, kind of. But Wriggles has the high ground. High ground is good, but not as good as having 90 more supply than what you currently have. So he's really got to close the gap on that. And I think, yeah, he's kind of stuck on 2 bases right now, and I think that's why this this shrine's finally going down. But yeah, that might be what Albino was checking for just now, was for another base up there. But he might be realizing now that he's pretty far ahead. Just maybe another quick remax here real quick. I don't know how much more supply he wants. He's up by 100 supply. Actually, here, I've been wondering about this. Okay, so they get energy regen as part of their veterancy. Oh, here's the dragon. That dragon's going to be super interesting in terms of doing a lot of damage to... Woo! There we go. Molten Touch plus Putrid Breath. It's going to be quite the winning combination here. Oh no, but so many sticky bombs go down. Alright, the Flame Imp's getting good connections as well. The Hellborn is going to have to turn and fight. Magadon's going to come forward. He needs to start stomping. So many dots going down on the Exos, but the Gravens are coming forward and doing fantastic damage against the Hellborn. And now we're just seeing Tier 2 and Tier 3 units fighting. The Gaunts are almost all done. Superstone goes down on the high ground to try and help out with some of the DPS, but Albino is just steamrolling over Wriggle's army. And yeah, there's the GG from Wriggle. On to game number 3. Okay, guys, now we're in game 3 between Albino and Wriggle in this best of 5 in the semifinals for the ASTI number 3. For the ASTI number 3 qualifier. We've seen Iron Vault that's halfway done building, and the Hexen teleported home so the dog can, I don't know, try and be aggressive and do some damage to imps, or it can just like chill at the bottom of the ramp because there's nothing happening. Literally nothing happening. The barracks is done, and out comes a Lancer here pretty soon. This imp is probably going to be a shrine and not a meat farm. There we go. And now the dog versus Hexen fight can continue. Alright, Brute Hexen moving on north. Maybe not. Yeah, they're probably going to stick around. They just don't want the they don't want the dog to be annoying. They don't want to be too far from all this. There we go. Yeah, we see a meat farm being put down right next to the Luminite camp. We don't see any Therium being mined just yet out of Wriggle. That's interesting. You know, I think it's because he wants to get buildings up faster. But is he going to... Okay. Spends a skull on a slime. Oh no, he brings the Hexen maybe a little bit too close though. Because now the Hexens suffer from minus 25 armor. And against the dog, that's super annoying. Does he have enough energy for another skull? No, he doesn't. So yeah, that's the best that could have gone. Getting 2 of those fiends. Maybe not the best, but the best considering that there's a really skilled Vanguard player harassing you with a dog at your health camp. Couple of Lancers coming on by, and it's going to look like... Yeah, there's another Lancer. 5 overcharged Bobs going to take the natural. Pretty standard Vanguard stuff. It's, yeah, let's see here. None of these Brutes are in real danger. He could rotate this, that Brute back. Doesn't. Decides to split it instead because the Lancers are here. But the Lancers just chew right through these, those Fiends. And I'm surprised the Lancers didn't continue to go after the Hexen. That would have been a juicy catch. But they are going to take the Vision Camp, which gives them... I don't think it gives them Vision of the Shrine, but it still should, I think it gives... Like, it'll... Albino will definitely see the Shroud on the map, so he's going to know that the Shrine's finished. He just doesn't know how many imps are mining. There we go. The Lancers are going to continue to chase the Fiends around. And now... Yeah, he's going to be dealing damage to both the imps and the Brutes. If the Brutes stay inside of the worker line as they fight. And the promotes go down. So now they're all 2 Chevron Lancers against those poor little imps that just want to collect shiny rocks and return them to their big spiky structure at the natural. Alright, we see one Fiend over here, keeping an eye on the vision camp for Albino. Doesn't get it. Fiend runs by 3 Lancers and gets nuked. So yeah, now Wriggle's kind of just stuck at home, doing the eco thing, and Albino's on 6 workers at his natural, while Wriggle's at 8. But Wriggle can't really be active out on the map the same way that Albino can, at least not without the fear of Albino's units showing up on his front door and like just eviscerating his worker line. There's no equivalent. I don't think there's any equivalent for that right now for Infernals, where they can just, you know, do a run by real quick and have that much threat. Like the fact that Lancers do AoE on top of doing bonus to light means that they are just, you know, they'll wreck worker lines like nothing else. Yeah, so moving out while, you know, they're on the field and they're at that veterancy, so they've got the ones with 2 chevrons have 20% bonus damages. Pretty nuts. Not something you want to be leaving alone. But another shrine goes down around this Therium patch. It's slowly getting more and more enriched. But Hornets are on the map now, and we don't see any kind of anti-air yet. Okay, I say that, but there's 6 Gaunts. They're just kind of in the main. Yeah, and the Hornets are just sticking onto that cliff, so if they get attacked from the low ground, they can go up to the high ground and just be annoying like that. Is that imp gonna go down? Not quite. Great defense here by Wriggle, keeping those Hornets away. I think one more volley from each of those Hornets would have taken down that imp, which, you know, small victories, but repairing is free, so might have been worth it. It's not like the Hornet's going to be doing anything else. Capturing the health camp, I guess, is good, but the dog can do that. Oh, are the Gaunt's going to get it? Nope. Another shrine goes down. Man, Wriggle's on top of his oh no, don't stop moving. Yeah, he has to stop there. That poor imp might not make it. Man, these Lancers are taking all kinds of damage, though. Just to kill off a worker. But a worker kill is good. It's just, you know, you're probably expecting more damage out of 5 Lancers, but given the situations where it's at now, can't complain. Can't complain. Alright, Skull pops on top of a Lancer there to grant vision as well as some infestation. Now the imps are getting targeted again. That's 1 imp, 2 imp, 3... no, just 2 imps. And now the ground army, the big and burly ground army of the Infernals is going to chase off those Lancers. But they're not going to go that far. It's just, it's that, you know, sibling in the backseat of the van saying, I'm not touching you, while their hand is right in your face or whatever. Not completely disengaging, but not making contact either. Okay, so we do see Reaper's Rush coming out here for the Gaunts, which would be nice. But I worry that there's... yeah, where'd the rest of his heavy frontline units go? Okay, they're all up at the health camp, while the Gaunts have to face off against these Lancers all by themselves. Oh, and the Lancers, each time they get hit, their kinetic redirection procs again, so they're going to be moving even faster, which is not what you want to be doing. I mean, instinctively it's better to stutter step so that you can try and kite, but the Lancer's kinetic redirection ability is like their anti-kite mechanic, I guess. Alright, that's a cancel, not a kill. The imp instantly remakes. But yeah, that shrine's been trying to go up for a long time now. I think it's just not going to happen. Not anytime soon, anyway. Alright, meanwhile, back at Albino's base, an entire other base has gone down, and 4 more barracks have gone down. Holy production, Batman. Do we see anything else coming out of the hangar bay? Nah, not really. Oh, we do see, interesting, we see Nano Swarm coming down. But we don't have that's got to be a mistake, right? Oh, what's being built at the... Okay, here's the Oreo upgrade. Orbital Energy Optimizer. Yeah, there's no mech bays out. I don't know why the mech lab is there. Maybe there's, I mean, typically we see it being used for hedgehog range, but there's no hedgehogs on the map. Oh, is it for, it might be for the Sentinel here. Yeah, Haste Bot Dispersal Aura. And then soon, maybe the big blue bubble is going to come down. Oh man, that Magmadon's really low, but Wriggle doing a good job making sure it gets to the back line before it gets completely killed off, because the amount of white health it can get, 120, is nothing to shake a stick at. Whole bunch of 4 medtechs show up to support this army ball. And Albino is really starting to run away with the supply count here, 146 to 89. Almost a 50 supply difference here. Alright, now we're going to be in this little standoff situation where Albino's got the vision cam, so we can see everything that's going on kind of behind the scenes over here, but Wriggle can't see over this cliff. I think he understands, yeah, he knows that Albino's army is just chilling there, and there's no way that he's going to be able to move out in either direction, either north or east, without Albino seeing him. So he's kind of contained here for the moment. Until he sends a skull over. Actually, that's a pretty good use of the skull, considering that the Hexen doesn't get a whole lot of use late game. We have seen a couple more people experimenting with venom traps, but that's still more of an early game. Like, hey, let's do some pre-camp type stuff early on. All right, those Hellborn want to get good shots in, but he also want to fight off. He wants to fight the Vanguard player when he's off of his the big blue bubbles, but if he can move his own units into the blue bubbles, he can get that that same defense. Oh man! Oh, and he throws his shields up on this this Lancer. It's still alive too. It took a long time for that one to go down. Now we're just down to 4 Hellborn and a handful of Gaunts. But I think it's time to leave. Whoa! Fantastic! Fantastic dot there. Woo! Molten Touch paying off in spades and getting those, burning down some of those Exos. Oh, and now this big Fiend ball. Gaunt and Fiends are going to come down and start doing all kinds of damage to this worker line. Yeah, it was a Gaunt drop from a Harbinger over to the worker line here. Alright, now the Gaunts can get back into the Harbinger and leave if they so choose. But they do not so choose. They just want to sit there and get the damage done, which I think is fine. It would have been chased down by the Graven and the Hornets anyway, so it's better for those units to actually stick around and do damage rather than get into the transport and die having done nothing. Woo! Fantastic shots here. No! Split the Gaunts. Yeah, two Graven goo bombs. Like, if Gaunts get stuck with 2 Graven Goo Bombs, they are pretty toast. Oh, man, it's just fantastic damage. But I almost think this is going to be too many Hellborn. He needs more Tier 1 units, yeah. More frontline DPS units that can infest and stuff. But no, I think Wriggle sees the Anaconda slowly coiling around his base. And that is it. Albino's going to take the semifinals here, 3-0. And move on to the next round. GG's, guys.